Hello, Rick here, and I've been making lore videos, theories and stories and so forth for just over a year now, and over the course of countless hours of research, an important question needs to be addressed. What is canon in Doctor Who? What events and stories are actually relevant to the Doctor Who mythos at any given time? Also, while writing this, the BBC dropped an image of Jodie Whittaker in full Doctor get-up, so here it is. Is it me, or does it look kind of early 80s, maybe? The colour scheme of the top makes me think of like a VHS tapes, you know, the old black ones that you could record onto. I think it looks a bit hodgepodge too, haphazardy. Very much in contrast to like Capaldi's neater magician theme. Anywho, on to the video topic at hand. This show has been on and off the air for over 50 years now, but even during its great hiatus from 1989 to 2005, media such as the Big Finish audio stories, books and magazines filled in to keep the fandom supplied with tales of the Doctor and his adventures. So first off, let me point out that this is my interpretation of Doctor Who canon. There are people out there who completely ignore the audiobooks and early comics, and I'm sure that there are others who even subjectively remove episodes from their mind to preserve a sense of headcanon. These are merely differing viewpoints, and in the end, none of it is real, so why overanalyze it? But with that being said, let's overanalyze this. So there's a lot of lore to sift through, and often labelling one event as canon excludes the possibility of other things. Most people look to the TV series as the primary source of information for a timeline on events, as TV was the first medium utilised in telling these stories. Books and audio dramas provide an interesting narrative, but are often dismissed or not addressed at all in the show. This means that characters such as Romana 3, Tamsin and the entire sections of older lore such as Gallifrey's history with vampires and the origins of the Time Lords are effectively irrelevant because they aren't mentioned in the show, or at least not in great detail. We get some confirmation of the 8th Doctor's friends and companions in the BBC's short Night of the Doctor, but then that makes another addition to the Doctor Who continuity, miniseries. And for that matter, what about Peter Cushing's Doctor? This is often discounted altogether, yet Time Crash, short, is acceptable. Is it because Time Crash, Night of the Doctor and the like feature established Doctors, or because it was made by the BBC rather than the AARU? Franchises such as Star Trek have a great deal of this background information from similar sources and have to make the same juggling act of lore. Star Wars discarded years of stories from its expanded universe in 2014, rebranding it as Legends. You know, in the same way King Arthur happened. This yes or no approach to events and characters kind of has to be, though, if you want to establish a consistent universe, a believable, immersive environment for your audience to buy into. But it's a shame to see cool elements and well-constructed tales slip into the category of superfluous. I mean, you can read them now, but you can't trust anything in there, as it probably didn't happen. Doctor Who, however, stands in a unique position. I see it as all canon. It's all true. Even the conflicting events such as the birth of regeneration and looms. You see, Doctor Who is a show about time travel, navigating an ongoing web of events and narratives. In the Doctor Who universe, time isn't a strict cause to effect line. As fans are so often of pointing out, it's a wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey mess of stuff. It's fluid, always changing, which leads to continuous alterations to history and the future. We follow the Doctor, a traveller throughout this existence and a being removed from time. He, and therefore the audience with him, have seen events that never happened, witnessed possible futures and seen paradoxes unfold. Therefore it's entirely plausible that all of these events, vampires, stories from the Time War, the 8th Doctor's adventures, the Doctor being half human and then full Time Lord, then being loomed and then born naturally, may have all been true at one time. Then events and history changed, and suddenly things are different. But the Doctor, a Time Lord, sees these changes, knows what can change and what must always happen, and so on. So in a sense, these events are preserved through him and therefore us. Plus there's the Time War itself, which was a monumental cock-up of time. A war that perverted the very course of causality and callously crippled countless civilizations. That probably rewrote a thing or two. Except Peter Cushing's Doctor, that's basically its own thing. At least, that's how I see it. Perhaps it's because, at the end of it all, I just enjoy a good tale, and I don't like the idea of scrapping it because it conflicts with something else mentioned in the show. So this is how I approach lore in the Whoniverse. It's all true, at least at some point. Thanks for listening. This was just another one of those videos that I wanted to put out there because it creates an interesting topic for discussion, a discussion I look forward to reading. So tell me, what do you consider to have happened? Or better yet, is there an event you look at and go, no, sorry, just doesn't fit for me, can't do it. Thanks again for watching. I've been Rick, this has been Certifiably Ingame, and I'll see you in the next video. With the Doctor Who Christmas special approaching and Star Trek Discovery taking its mid-season break, expect to see more Who on the channel. Anyway, until next time, goodbye.